A professional hitman goes, as usual, on a secret mission to kill the owner of a toy factory. But he's shocked when a gift arrives at his house after the man's death, a gift meant to kill him and take revenge. You're with CineDigest, and this is a movie recap. Don't forget to hit that strong like and subscribe. We see Jason, a man in his 40s who looks calm, standing in front of a toy factory, listening to music in his car. Inside the factory, we see Maurice, the owner and founder, proudly looking at all his toys in a strange way. There's a doll spinning around a magic hoop, Maurice's favorite toy. Then we go back to Jason, who's watching through binoculars at Maurice's office window to make sure he's inside. He checks the time on his watch. When Maurice gets close to the window, Jason knows this is the right moment. Time to move. Maurice holds a picture of his mother, and we learn he strangely owes her for everything he's achieved. Jason puts on his mask, takes his tranquilizer gun, and gets out of the car. We cut to the security guard hearing a noise outside near the door. When he goes to check, he finds a phone with a message on it saying it's a bomb and that the countdown starts now. 10, 9, 8. So he quickly grabs it and runs outside to throw it away, but Jason appears and shoots him with the tranquilizer gun so he can move toward Maurice's office. Turns out the phone bomb thing was just a distraction so he could enter the building easily. He disables the cameras, knocks out another guard, and finally reaches Maurice's office. He completes his mission and kills Maurice mercilessly as the man cries in front of him. Jason couldn't care less. To him, Maurice is just some guy who makes toys for kids. He grabs the fairy doll from Maurice's desk, a little souvenir from the kill. Later that night, Jason's on a plane, first class. He gets a call from a man saying the job's done and Maurice is dead and he wants his payment now. They transfer the money immediately. The woman sitting next to him kindly asks for a piece of gum, but when she glimpses the messages on his phone, she realizes he's a hitman. She's terrified. Then when he opens his bag and she sees the doll, she feels he's totally insane. Jason watches the news. Maurice, the toy factory owner, has been murdered brutally by a professional killer. Jason smirks proudly. After all, that's him. On his way, he keeps noticing Maurice's toy, the same doll, being sold everywhere, but he ignores it, thinking it's just a coincidence. We learn Jason lives in a fancy high-rise on the 40th floor. He places the fairy doll inside his trophy cabinet, where he keeps a memento from each of his victims. Soon after, he gets another job, a trip with a nice payout, but before reading the email, he falls asleep on the couch. When he wakes up, the receptionist brings him a package sent from Maurice's toy company, addressed to him personally. He opens the box, terrified it might be a bomb. Instead, it's a plastic army toy set from Maurice's factory, labeled a surprise inside. Jason doesn't care. He doesn't even notice the sticker underneath. Once he's sure it's just toys, he tosses one soldier aside and goes to grab his drink. Suddenly, he hears the box fall by itself. When he looks, the soldiers are scattered normally, but then when he looks again, they've disappeared. Weirdly, the lights in the apartment start going out, one by one. When he checks what's going on, he can't figure it out. The wires snap and spark, then suddenly a toy knife stabs his leg. He's shocked, there's no one there. Hearing noises under the stove, he looks. Tiny bullets start firing at his face. He ducks and hides, not believing what's happening. A toy anti-aircraft gun shoots his leg, tearing it open. He needs stitches. He takes cover, but can't hold out. He runs to the bathroom and locks the door. Seeing the wound, he stitches it up himself. He looks in the mirror, tiny bullet marks all over his face. The pain is real. When he lifts the mirror to peek outside, he sees bullets flying from under the couch, smashing every light in the place, as if someone wants total darkness. Suddenly, the shooting stops, but out of nowhere, a tiny rocket hits the mirror in his hand and shatters it. He storms out of the bathroom, furious, grabs his gun, and starts firing, ready to destroy whatever is attacking his apartment. He shoots under the couch,
and when his gun runs out of bullets, he realizes it's useless against the endless shots coming from under the couch. So he takes a sip of his drink to handle the pain spreading all over his body, then grabs his machine gun to destroy the couch completely. But he almost loses his mind when he discovers that the reason for all this chaos is the plastic soldiers, the ones from Maurice's company. He sees them moving, collecting their gear, and even treating the wounded so they can attack him again. Jason starts kicking them and finishing off the infantry squad with anything he can grab because they never seem to stop or rest. Then 3 Apache helicopters arrive, way too late, and start firing at him and his apartment to destroy everything. Their blades cut his face, leaving deep wounds. Jason shoots back at one of them and destroys it, leaving only 2. He runs to his bedroom, locks the door to treat his injuries, and plans to go back for revenge. But suddenly, an artillery gun from the remaining soldiers fires at his door, breaking it open, letting another helicopter in. Before it can attack, Jason sets a trap. He throws a towel on it, slams it to the ground, and crushes it with his foot. He's shocked when he hears the soldiers are still alive, so he throws them straight into the bathroom. Now there's only 1 helicopter left, but the soldiers he threw into the bathroom are still alive, so he decides to throw the hairdryer in there to electrocute them. Unfortunately, the power cuts out across the whole apartment from the short circuit he caused. He takes the chance to stitch up his leg wound, which is still bleeding heavily, and treat the rest of his injuries. Then the soldiers slide a note under the bathroom door. It says he must surrender. Jason refuses. He sends them a reply, and they respond by showering the bathroom door with bullets, destroying it completely. He escapes through the bathroom window to another room, but the last helicopter spots him and fires a rocket that hits his ear. When he tries to shoot back, his gun is empty. He reloads quickly and fires again, destroying the final helicopter. Back in the living room, Jason decides to trick the remaining soldiers using a rubber duck and a fire extinguisher. He puts the duck in the bathtub to make sounds and lure them in, while he sneaks behind them with the extinguisher, freezing them in place. But the rest of the soldiers realize his plan and attack him with their cannons. Jason, already 1 step ahead, grabs a can of bug spray, sets it on fire, and burns the soldiers, melting them down because they're made of plastic. After destroying the entire squad, he sits down celebrating the massacre he just caused. When he decides to take a shower to calm down, something cuts his hand deeply under the water. He jumps out in shock, searching for what hurt him, but finds nothing. Scared, he goes back to his room and stitches up the deep wound himself before he bleeds out. His hands are shaking badly, so he decides to go to the hospital. But inside the elevator, he hears a knocking sound from the control panel. Then the elevator suddenly stops. The emergency hatch opens and a soldier, a Marine figure, also made of plastic, drops down. This soldier is fast, strong, and ruthless. He keeps slashing Jason in strange places, trying to drain his blood bit by bit. He gathers his strength, opens the ceiling hatch, and climbs up, but the height below is too far to jump. The Marine keeps attacking him, ready to land the final blow with his knife. Just then, another elevator passes by, and Jason jumps onto it to escape, falling hard to the ground floor. Weak from blood loss, he can barely move. He presses the button to open the door, but the Marine soldier is still hanging onto his leg. The soldier climbs up his chest and starts stabbing him repeatedly with his tiny knife. When the elevator door opens, Jason is barely conscious. He gathers his last strength and grabs the soldier and shoves him between the closing elevator doors to crush him. The Marine holds on desperately but can't win. The doors slam shut, crushing him completely. He looks at the little plastic body, realizing how small and insignificant it is, but then he notices a bomb attached to its back, counting down. He can't move anymore, bleeding and broken, and finally accepts his fate, dying at the hands of a toy. The elevator exploded. Meanwhile, back in Jason's apartment, the tape on the toy box peels off, revealing a hidden message. "You've won a bonus Marine soldier with your set. Be careful, there's a bomb on his back that can kill you." But Jason never saw it. Inside his trophy cabinet, the fairy doll from Maurice's office, the one symbolizing Maurice's mother, spins slowly, dancing. like she's celebrating her son's death. And that's where our movie ends. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to CineDigest for more stories like this.